What's up, nerds? My name is Abdul Nafe. Welcome back to a brand new video. And in this one, we're going to be learning how to generate images with Midjourney. Now, AI generated art has recently blown up in popularity, and people are creating some great works with it. People are using it to generate amazing art, and that can be very useful. So I'm going to be teaching you how exactly to use Midjourney, how to generate art with Midjourney, and how to use the commands, the specific commands which are inside of Midjourney. After that, we're going to be focusing on how exactly can you get better results and how can you make better prompts. And after that, we're going to be learning how to use images as prompts, because usually text is used as prompts, but oftentimes that does not give the results which you are expecting. So we're going to be learning how to use images as prompts alongside text, of course. And after that, we're also going to be learning how to blend two images. So for example, if you take one image and another image and just combine them, and you can get some really fun results with that as well. And yeah, so after learning the basics of Midjourney and how to use it, we're finally going to be discussing some ideas which you can use to actually earn money from this, and you can sell your generated art. So I'm going to be showing you some very practical and sustainable ways to earn some money with AI generated art. So yeah, that is going to be the curriculum for now. However, AI generated art is actually evolving really fast, and they're coming out with new features every day. So if I find something new which is which basically makes your experience better in generating art, then I'll be sure to update this class, and I'll be sure to add that extra feature as well. So yeah, without any further ado, let's start with the class. Alright guys, so we are going to be learning how to use Midjourney to create AI generated art. So let's begin with obviously just going to midjourney.com, and here you can just join the beta, or if you already have an account, then you can sign in. I already do have an account, so I'm just going to sign in. Yeah, so you're going to have to sign in with what do you call it, with Discord. Now Discord is basically a chatting application, it's a social application, but it's obviously a lot more than that as well. So if you don't have Discord, then you can just download it by just searching Discord download, and then just go to the first link. So you can either download this or you can just use it from the browser. So that is also an option for you. And I mean, for Midjourney, for just using Discord for Midjourney, it's enough to use it from the browser. But obviously, if you use it for other things as well, then you would want to download it. All right. Now, once you are inside of the Midjourney server, you can just start doing it. Just start creating art. But first, what exactly is Midjourney? Midjourney is basically a tool which you can use to generate art from AI. And AI, basically what it does is that it uses a diffusion model and uses noise to generate images which are basically created by prompts. But obviously, knowing the background of this and knowing how exactly all this works, that is not important. So I'm going to be showing you how to actually generate this, how to use this tool, and then we're going to be moving on to other things. So if I just show you my whole sort of curriculum for this class. Firstly, we have to cover what exactly is Midjourney. So I just already did that. It's basically a tool which you can use to generate AI art. It's like Dolly 2 or like other softwares as well. But Dolly 2 currently is in closed beta. However, Midjourney is free for everyone to use. Basically, you get 25 images if with the free trial, and apart from that, and after that, you can obviously pay for more images. So if I just go to manage plan, and here you can see that they basically have two plans currently. The one which I have is the basic membership that has approximately 200 images per month, and that is $10. And general commercial terms, you can basically use this for anything except for if you are, let's say, an employee of a large company, then you can and your company makes more than $1 million in revenue every year. Then you're not allowed to use these images. You have to purchase a corporate plan then. So you can obviously see more details right here. But yeah, that's basically it. And apart from that, the other membership they offer is the standard membership, and that is $30, and that has unlimited images. So you can just use it unlimited an unlimited amount of times for personal use, of course. So yeah, this is basically the billing system for Midjourney right now. However, it can change in the future. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So now let's move on to the next part of this class, which is going to be understanding how to use Midjourney and how to generate art with it. So once you are in the Discord server, you can just simply go to the Midjourney Discord server, and you can join any of these newbie rooms. So once you do that, if you just go to this, and then you can just type anything which you want. Now, obviously, once you are if you are a new member, you have 25 images which you can generate. So yeah, it should work for you. However, once you run out of those images and once your trial ends, you basically have to pay for it. So I'm already paying for it, so I can just use these servers right away. So how exactly do we generate an image? You just simply press slash and imagine. If I just do that and press enter, you're going to see that it's going to say prompt and it's going to ask for a prompt, right? Prompt. Now, what exactly is a prompt? A prompt is basically a line of text which you can which you basically use to tell the computer what exactly you want. For example, I write, let's just start with a simple 3D cartoon character, right? It's very vague, it's very simple, and let's just see what the computer does. So let's see what the AI does, and I will see when it's done. So it does obviously take some time to generate these images. Now you're going to see that it has started to generate them, but obviously this is also going to take some time. It's going to take around a few minutes, a minute or 2 minute maximum, if you are using this fast option. I'm going to be showing you, I'm going to be explaining what exactly this fast option is in just a bit. But yeah, you can see it is generating something. Is that something good? I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, it is something for sure. All right, so now the characters have been generated. So if I just open it, you're going to see that we have these characters. Now, obviously, they are very random. Obviously, we did not mention any specific details, so it just came up with any random characters which it could think of, right? So now we have these buttons right here. So what exactly do these mean? Basically, this U button means upscale, right? So if I just press U1, it's going to upscale the first image. If I press U2, it's going to upscale the second one. And similarly, 3 and 4 are going to upscale the third and fourth images. Now, this V button basically means variation. Now, you can, let's say, for example, if I like this one right here, right? If I like the 3, but I want some other variations of this, right? I don't exactly like this, but I want something similar to it. So I'm just going to press V3, and now it's just going to make some variations of that third generated image. Now you're going to have to wait for this. You can obviously cancel it if you want, but I'm just going to wait for it to generate. And now you're going to see that it has generated some variations. So I'm just going to wait for it to finish. So now, as you can see, you have these other generated images. Now, obviously, I don't really like them as much. So you can obviously do, let's say you can pick one of them, and you can generate other variations of that as well. But be sure to not waste your trial images on random things. Make sure to have a very specific idea in your mind, and we're obviously going to be covering that in future videos. I'm going to be showing you how exactly to come up with prompts which give you results which you are expecting, and not something just totally random. Because obviously you go in with two mindsets, right? The first one is you let AI handle the creativity. Either you let AI handle the creativity, it just comes up with anything, you don't really have an idea in mind, or you go in with a specific idea. For example, if I want, let's say, now let's do another variation of this character, right? Let's make a very specific version of this. So I'm just going to do imagine a simple 3D cartoon character. Now, what I'm going to write in front of this are basically going to be specific modifiers, right? Now, these are called modifiers because they actually modify your character in certain ways. So, for example, if I'm going to write with let's say dark skin, comma, blue eyes, comma, let's say he's wearing a suit, comma, a simple 3D young male cartoon character. You can just add as many details as you want, and it's going to give you something which looks really good. So yeah, a simple 3D young male cartoon character with dark skin, blue eyes, wearing a suit, and sitting on a chair. I think that should be fine. Now you can press comma on this, and you can add some other specific details as well. For example, if I want to write photorealistic, then it's going to come up with realistic images. However, obviously we are going for a cartoon look, so I'm not going to do that, but you could obviously go with that if you want. So let's just give it that command and let's see what it comes up with. Alright, so now it did come up with some very random, very weird images. So what happens is that sometimes it gets a little confused. So the results right now are not really good. I'm not really liking them. This one is somewhat good, but obviously the chair is not good. And in this, I really like the character's face and everything. However, it's not sitting on a chair. So yeah, this was a little too specific, I think. So what you can do instead is you can just basically go for this again, except for we can maybe not have it sit on a chair. Yeah, right. Or of course, you can just try this exact same prompt once again, and there's a lot of luck involved in this as well. So you can try this again, and maybe it will work just fine. Yeah. So sometimes you just have to give it some trial and error. And sometimes it's going to come up with some good things, sometimes it's not going to come up with some good things. I'm just going to be cutting this. Let's paste it inside the prompt and let's give it a go. All right, so now these results are here and you can see they're not bad. I'm liking this one, but obviously they're not that good either. Yeah. So right now we've been working with text-based prompts, right? So text-based prompts are not really that good in my opinion. Basically what happens is that there's a lot of randomness, there's a lot of there are a lot of unexpected results. So I would recommend you, if you want to get serious with these prompts and if you want to get really good results, then I would highly recommend you to use images as prompts, right? So how exactly can you do that? I'm just going to be showing you that in just a bit. It's very simple, but before that, let me just go over a few basic prompts which you need to know. So if you just go to the user manual, you're going to see a list of these bots. So I'm just going to be explaining them what exactly they are and how to use them inside of Midjourney. So first of all, imagine, obviously this does exactly what it says. Basically, you use this to generate images. It's pretty self-explanatory. And apart from that, help shows the list of commands which are available inside of Midjourney. So you can just use them as help. So now moving down to some of these useful commands. So basically this one right here is aspect ratio. Double dash aspect or double dash AR. What this does is that this generates the image in a specific aspect ratio, for example 16:9 or 1:1 or any other ratio which you want. However, if you want your image to be in a specific resolution, so for example 1920 by 1080, then you can just use this command. So I'm going to be showing you how to use them in just a bit, but let me just go over all of these first so that we can combine them and you use all of them in one prompt, because I don't want to waste a lot of my credits. So I'm just going to go down to this next one. This is going to be seed. Now what seed is that if you have ever played Minecraft, you would know what seed is. Basically, seed is a random number which sort of helps the computer generate something. Now this is mainly useful if, for example, you want to have a very specific image generated twice, right? If you want to generate an image which you generated previously, you want to generate that exact same image once again in, let's say, a higher resolution or something like that. So you can just use that exact seed. So for example, when we are generating something, for example, /imagine space, let's say, let's just go with the one which we used, /imagine a simple 3D young male cartoon character with dark skin, blue eyes, wearing a suit. Now if I just press space and if I add double dash, if I write dash twice, and if I just do seed space, let's say 10 or any random number between 0 and this number right here, then it's going to create a specific image which I can use again, and that number 10, I can use that again to generate that exact same image with that exact same prompt. Otherwise, if I use the same prompt once again, it's going to generate a totally random image. Yeah, so that I hope that made sense. It basically is helpful when you want to generate the exact same image twice. Moving on to the next one, which is going to be double dash no. Now this is pretty self-explanatory as well. For example, if you're generating, let's say, a living room, and if you don't want to have plants in it, for example, right? So you're just going to write dash dash no plants, and it's going to basically try to remove plants as this says right here. So yeah, that is basically that. And next up we have this dash dash stylize. Now this is very important as well, because when you are generating something like this, for example, these characters are basically stylized characters, right? These are cartoon characters. But if you want something very realistic, then you would ideally like to put this stylized basically command in there, and you have to set this value as low as possible. So for example, like just set it to a very low number, right? Below 2500. So that's just going to give you a more realistic and a less stylized image. So after that, all these are basically not that useful. You can just go through this this documentation. It's basically midjourney.getbook.io/docs/user-manual, and you can just come to this website and you can read all these. But I'm just going over the important ones which we are going to be using right now. So I just want to give you an introduction to them before using them, right? And you can just go through this whole documentation if you want. It's really helpful. All right, so now that we've gone over some basic these commands, let's move on to creating some images from images, right? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to be using a text-based prompt alongside with along with an image to create a better image, right?